Well, I definitely want to start off with what's going on across our country right now, and thoughts and prayers to all the families involved with the shooting out in Las Vegas. Very tragic, horrible time out there, and as we've seen so many times in adverse situations, so many people come to the forefront, step forward as heroes. And so I know there's families across our country that are in dear mourning, and our thoughts and prayers go to them and their lost loved ones. Moving forward with a reflecting back of last week, our game against UConn, want to give credit to Coach Etzel and his staff of having their guys ready to go. Definitely have shown improvement over each of the first 3 weeks. That was we knew we were going to get their best. We knew that they were going to come out and continue to improve on their first few weeks' opponents and game plans. And Coach Lashley did a phenomenal job offensively of taking what was given to them. And defensively, I know that we struggled early because it was hard to get into any type of routine and rhythm. But it was really good to see our guys and how they responded. But as I've shared last Saturday night, we've been where UConn is, building that program. We know what they're going through, but what was impressive for us is that while it may not have been our best performance, it was our best response. And that was a game that it was good to win in the way that we had to win it. Come behind or come out in the fourth quarter and perform the way we had to. It's amazing how it all works when one guy has a play's made, and how it just flips the entire momentum of the game. I think that was without a doubt the block punt by Ryan Becker on a call that was not a block. All week long our emphasis was to return, but that's a guy doing his job. That was it. His job was to ensure them punt, and he did that. And he almost blocked the one before it. He was extremely close. So it's great to see guys that are coming out doing what they're coached to do, and in a week that was so much of a return emphasis, it would have been so easy just to let up just a little bit. And no one would have ever noticed. But that's not who Ryan is. That's not what this program's about. And we've used his example, and we'll continue to use his example for weeks and years to come, of a guy just doing his job and doing it to the best of his ability. Whether you're playing 6 plays a game or 46 plays a game, it shouldn't matter. Our standard's best, and that's what we expect of these guys. And Ryan exemplified that. Offensively, it was great to see us respond when we needed it most in the fourth quarter. I thought our ability to wear them down late in the fourth quarter with the different running backs, the 3 different backs that we use, just a consistent, just our tempo and just being consistent in the way we attack was huge for us. Offensively, we were very good on third down. That was good to see. That's been a trend over the last few weeks, and when you're good on third down, it usually means you've been pretty balanced and efficient on first down. And that's part of our offensive goals each week is to be efficient on first down. We were very balanced. We had 7 runs and 7 passes that were explosive plays. We were able to score inside the red zone all but one time, and that last one being the 4th down to end the game down here. So that was good to see. I thought Ben is a fierce competitor. I know his completion percentage is not what we want, and I know we've missed on some throws, but this guy is a fierce competitor. He's making plays when we need it most, and excited to see him. He was one of our players of the game. He gets us in the right protections, makes the right calls for us, and gives us the best chance. We were looking for a spark early in the first quarter, and I brought in DJ Gillens, and we were able to go down and score, and was going to go back with DJ, and we had some mental mistakes that forced us to change our plan right there. Again, our running backs, all 3 of them, they're all great competitors. They all want the ball every play. You got to love that in these guys. All three backs were right there at the 70 yards rushing. Anytime you rush the ball over 200 yards, you're doing something good at any level. I thought Kamen Freeman did a really good job of imposing his will late in the game and using his body size and style to run to help us convert some huge third downs. None bigger than the check down, third and long. Ben checked it down to Kamen. Was able to pick up a first down and keep a drive alive. Thought our offensive line played consistent. Evan Brown was our player of the game. Up front, Will Hopkins continues to improve. I'm really excited about Will. He's getting better every week. Bryce Wiles, with Jacob DeDore being out, Bryce Wiles got the majority of the reps and did some good things. So competition's making everybody better up front. Our wide receiver core continues to just be consistent in their play. I did not think we played very well without the ball. I didn't think we blocked very well. I didn't think we were as physical as we've been in the past. And that's been something we've addressed. But I thought obviously Trey Quinn was on the American Conference honor roll this week and with his 15 receptions. And obviously the production that Cortland Sutton gave us as well. It's great to see those two guys contribute to our success offensively. Very explosive offensively. We knew that. We've got depth. We've got talent. And as I've said it every week, just as a quarterback, man, get the ball to your playmakers. That's what this thing's about. Get us in the right call. Get it to your playmakers. Thought defensively, when you look at the performance of Justin Lawler, which was the defensive player of the week in our conference, which was huge to see, and his 4 sacks, tied an SMU record. You held an opponent to -8 yards rushing. You got to be doing something right up front. And again, coming into this year, we felt like our defensive line, with the depth that we have, and the way Coach Wyatt rotates our D linemen, and it really wears people down, especially in the fourth quarter. We've got 12 guys that we're able to rotate. We feel really comfortable with these guys. We've got to do better. We've got to do better on some double teams. We're getting knocked back at times on double teams, but that's something that we'll continue to focus on. Kyron Mitchell was our other defensive player of the game. Continues to be just a very active football player, very aggressive, and provides a spark to us out on the edge at our outside backer. We had 8 sacks. Mason Gentry, none bigger than his 2 sacks late in the fourth quarter. And they have guys open down the field. And Mason Gentry comes in, and we're only rushing 3, and we're able to create 2 sacks. DeMarie Mixon was another, had a sack. Nick Horton and Anthony Nerone all contributed with adding a half a sack each. But very good on third down defensively. We held them to 13 on third down. We had 17 plays of negative yards. You can do a lot of things that way. And I thought we played well in the fourth quarter. I did not think we played consistent. We didn't play to our standard. I did not think that we played very well on the back end in our secondary at all. I thought we played with very little confidence, which was a concern. Obviously, Jordan Wyatt did not play, but that's why they give us more than one scholarship. Because we got other guys back there that's got to play too. We got to have them ready, and that's something we've got to improve on. That's something that has shown up on film for a couple of weeks, and that's something that'll get you beat. And it's just be straight about it. Sunday's all about the accountability. And accountability and the truth Sunday, and so you know, you have to say what it is. And we did not play well. Matter of fact, I thought that is an understatement. I thought we missed too many tackles on the back end. We didn't play with the confidence that we need, and that's got to improve, and that will improve. Jordan White coming back this week will definitely add a huge boost to us. He's such a great leader. Watch him coach on the sidelines Saturday. Trying to help those young guys out was really impressive, and I appreciate his leadership. It would be great to get him back out on the field today. But we did do some good things. I will say that. I think defensive line-wise, we're very disruptive. We do some good things there. Linebacker, we got to do a better job in some areas. Again, missed too many tackles, but that'll improve. Special teams. I mentioned Ryan Becker. I'm going to mention him again because he set the tone as the game flipped. It was because of his effort on a play that really was designed to return. So his block punt we had caused a fumble, 2 freshmen. It was great to see Shane Haley and Delano Robinson. Shane causing a fumble on a kickoff return, and Delano picking it up, being in the right position. So again, those 2 young guys are going to continue to add to our football team and our success. We were 100% on our PATs, so that's great with our snapper Garrett Stotts, Alex Melvin, and Josh Josh Williams have done a really good job this past week. We kept talking about we can't leave points on the field, and we didn't do that last week. Our protection scheme was good as well up front. So again, we came out of the UConn season 1-0, and that was our goal. We got a lot to improve on, especially moving into this week. We travel down to Houston to play a very talented football team, a team that, in my opinion, has, if not the best defensive player in college football. He's one of the top 2 in Ed Oliver. He's our defensive player of the year in our conference. He's as good a player as I've seen at this position on film, and we've seen some good ones over the years. This guy plays the game like it's supposed to be played, and that's all out every play. They've got more than just him, though. Now, I know his stats don't look like he's made many plays, and it's because he draws so many double teams and forces a lot of attention on himself. But they've got some guys up front that are returning. They've got 7 returners on the defensive side of the ball. 6 of those are seniors, so they're very experienced. Their linebacker core is fast, they're physical. They play very aggressive. And again, all 4 of those guys returned from last year that got a lot of playing time in. The secondary, I thought their secondary, they got a JUCO transfer in at safety, which provides length and some speed back there. The Garrett Davis, Isaiah Johnson, and Jeremy Winchester all have played and contributed back there last year. But you're facing a defense that's very fast. They do a good job of mixing up their coverages and pressures, and they've done a really good job of taking the ball away. From an offensive standpoint, when you look at them, I know that they've rotated some guys around at quarterback, and so they got. I know Kyle Posma played last week, and Kyle Allen played the week before that, and so we expect both of these guys to play. They both bring a different dynamic to the game, but both are very, very highly recruited guys across the country, and both can cause some problems. They got an offense that's averaging about 430 yards a game. They got 8 returning starters. Their entire offensive line is back, and they got as physical of a wide receiver core as we faced this year. And the running backs, with Duke Catalan, the transfer from Texas, played last year there. This is a young man that is very violent when he runs, and provides a game-breaking speed at any point in time on the field. So we've got our work cut out for us defensively. We got to worry about the SMU Mustangs. That's the number one chore going into this week. Is we've got to get better. We've got to get better in all areas, and it's a 1-game season. We're excited about this 1-game season, and with that, I'll open up for questions.
This is the only school in your conference that's in-state, and it's been a bit of a rivalry the past few years. So in your opinion, what does this game mean to the program?
Well, I mean, it's just like any other game. They're all big games. It's just the only game we can play, and next week will be a big game, even though it's a bye week. It'll be a great opportunity for us to reflect on ourselves, and then the week after that, it will be a 1-game season. So they're all big. I mean, if you don't believe me, just lose one. It don't matter. Just lose one. And it is. A lot of our guys played against them or played with some of the guys on their same high school team. So there's a lot of familiarity with guys. We recruit against each other, but as far as it, hey, is this game bigger than any other game? It's the biggest game, and it's because it's the only game, and we can't get caught up in all that. And you can't get caught up in what happened last year and the year before that. It's all about right here, right now, and what can we do today to make us and get us in a position to be successful on Saturday. So
last year's win was kind of the signature moment for the 2016 SMU team. What did that win mean for the program? What you could, in terms of confidence and what you could sell about the program too?
Well, I think when you look at, they've won a lot of ball games over the past few years, and for us to come in and play and come away with a win last year here at home in front of our home crowd was big. It was big because it showed that our players were improving, and we knew we were. It was big because of what we saw. Basically, we were in a bye week the week before, and it was big because before the bye week we played Tulsa, and felt like we should have won that one, and lost it in overtime and had a chance to win it, and right there at the end of regulation and couldn't do it. And to walk in that locker room and to see the hurt, the tears on really all our players' faces. And I was walking up the tunnel then with a whole different message than when I walked in the locker room and saw what I saw. And I knew at that point that, okay, we got it. It's taken us a long time to where we feel like that, man, they've invested enough that it's really emotional. They truly care. And so coming off of that, going into our bye week, focusing on being the best SMU team we could be, then transitioning that into the next week into seeing the results, it just showed what we felt several weeks earlier, and it also showed that our guys are continuing their growth and to stay true to the process.
When you talk about the long-standing rivalry between SMU and Houston and the intensity in the same state and all that, could some of the sluggishness last week have been attributed to guys looking forward?
Well, you know, and everybody's trying to say this is a rival and all that, and you know, and for some it may be. I mean, to me, when you look at rivalry, it's two good teams that have played consistent for many years, and you know, everybody was trying to make it a rivalry last year, and we were coming off a 2-10 season. And you know, it was more about us, and so I don't know if we've had the success, SMU's had the success to say that year in and year out this has been a big rivalry, especially when you look at the past records of the scores of this game, and so it has truly been about us. And but coming into this week, I mean, you've got two good football teams that a lot of the players know each other, the coaches know each other, they recruit against each other, and it'll be a great environment. It'll be a lot of fun. I know they'll be ready. Our guys will be ready. But at the end of the day, it's really truly is about can our players play at our standard, and if we can, that's what it's all about. And to do that, you know, I don't want to look back on last week and say, well, that's kind of the sluggish as we were looking ahead. We're not good enough to look ahead. I mean, we're not. We're trying to build this thing, and I think UConn had a little bit to do with this. I really do. I think that they've improved, and I think that our guys, for whatever reason, might have been walking around thinking that maybe we've arrived. So we had to get into a dogfight right there, but the difference in the past and now is the fact that we've found a way to pull it out. When last year, in the year before, we don't block the punt. The guy probably gets off a booming punt that pins us in the -1.5 yard line and rolls out of bounds right before the pylon, and we got to go 99 3/4 of a yard. Now things are different, and it's amazing what happens as you continue to build your culture and build on just the standard that we play at. And but it was good to see us pull that one out. But I've got to give those guys credit without a doubt. I mean, it's hard for me to say that looking ahead to this opponent had anything to do with us not even contesting any passes out on the edge and being 10 yards off a guy when he catches the ball. My goodness. I mean, you know, it's just, you could complete that pass. I could complete that pass, without a doubt. But it's just, that's something we've got to get better at, and that's our challenge, and that's been our challenge to our entire defense and in the secondary. We can't just rely on our D-line to make all the plays. We got to have help, and that's what this thing's about. And but that I really don't. I don't think that has anything to do that. Well, we were looking ahead to this next opponent, and that caused us to play and just uncontest any passes and miss them. The number of tackles that we missed. That's unacceptable, and it's not who we are.
You mentioned that Jordan Wyatt will be back this week. And when you talk about the cushion that some of the corners gave this past week, Christian Davis and Eric Sutton had also been rolled an ankle or something, a little banged up just a bit the last couple of weeks. How much did that contribute to the larger cushion, and how are they feeling?
Absolutely none. No excuse in it. It's about playing with confidence. You got to have a short memory at corner, and these are two young men that have come from great programs and recruited to be here to play corner, and so they'll continue to get better. They both have an unbelievable amount of pride in themselves, and they saw themselves on film as our opponents have, and so they've got to get better, and they will. I got great confidence and great faith in these guys. If anything, Jordan White gives these guys an extra boost of confidence.
This was the first trip out of the Metroplex for your team this year. You've been, during the preseason, we're all about team building and everything else. What does a road trip provide for a team as a chance to a little extra bonding?
Yeah. Well, you know, we've stayed in our team hotel now for the first 5 weeks, and so I know our guys are excited. They're excited to get away, something a little bit different. But you know, just being able to get out and get together and you know, seeing just different scenery is you know, it'll be good. But at the end of the day, it's still, meetings will stay the same. The curfew stays the same. The meals will stay the same. It's just, you know, you're an experienced football team that understands that this is just what we do. So we got a lot of ball ahead of us, but the only thing we can control is this one-game season.
When you look at Houston and what they've done so far this season, do you see any significant changes either in scheme or just body language, personality with Tom Herman leaving and now Major Applewhite taking over?
Well, I think that they've done a fabulous job down there, to be honest with you. I think their guys are playing with great confidence. They've played some tough teams. The schedule has presented itself. They've had to go through a lot of adversity early in the year with the hurricane coming in and changing their schedule up. But no, absolutely not. I think these guys are playing extremely well. I think this is a football team that has got a lot of confidence right now.
This is kind of going back a little ways, but you studied math and statistics at A&M. What was the mindset, and were you drawn to that area, and how has that affected you as a coach?
Yeah, I've always been enamored by numbers and statistics. That's just kind of the way I grew up. Outside of my mom and dad, you know, my high school math teacher made a huge difference in my life and made it interesting. And so I've always studied numbers. I'm enamored with it. Our staff hates it. They absolutely hate that I like the numbers so much because numbers don't lie, and they don't lie. It is who you are. This is us. And right, wrong, and different. This is what the numbers say. This is who we are. And it gives us a measuring point, gives us a starting point. I've always felt like, and I've always been this way ever since a kid, that for every question there's an answer. For every problem there's a solution. We got to go find the solution in a lot of these cases, and that's you got to think outside the box. You got to be able to be different. And I think just the numbers part, I just like that. I don't know. I like looking at stats and box scores, and now stats, you know, stats and a dollar bill will get you maybe a cup of coffee somewhere, but it don't mean much. But it does give you a gauge and gives you a starting point and things you got to improve on.
What would you say are your favorite statistics?
To look at?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of them. I love the number of play counts. First of all, that's a big one for us. How balanced we are, how efficient we are in our pass offense, pass defense, run offense, run defense. The efficiency of things, not just the cold hard number where you can anybody can look it up. I like the efficiency of it, where you gotta put a formula together and figure a few things out. I like that.
You have your own formulas for that? You have your own formulas for that?
Oh yeah.